What is going on, everybody? This is Distinguished Fox, and welcome back to my channel on the YouTuber here. And what I'm going to be discussing about the Wood Elf, known as the Bosmer in the Elder Scrolls series of games, specifically here in Skyrim Special Anniversary Edition. Yes, that's what I call it. But anyways, so much further ado, I'm going to be discussing a little bit about the Wood Elf. You know, I talked about the Khajiit recently, probably in the past month. But now I want to talk about the Wood Elf. And what I really truly feel about the Wood Elf that really excels more than from any other class. The Wood Elf accelerates very deep into the archery tree. Now, what's really fun about the archery in this game is applying poisons on your archery, and thus, you know, doing a lot more damage than your physical or damage per second that you will be doing within your archery tree. And so what we're going to do here is that we're now going to go into the skills. And I will be discussing about what stone you would definitely want to invest in, which is going to be highly beneficial to the Wood Elf specifically. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to go into archery. You want to go 5 out of 5 in overdraw, and then go into maybe 1 or 2 out of 3 in critical shot, and then basically, if you're going to go pure archery, go invest into Eagle Eye and then into Steady Hand. And what's nice about Steady Hand, though, it's going to help you freeze a little bit of time, be able to do pot shots with your enemies with your bows, and that's going to be a lot more beneficial if you're going to go pure archery. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing here with this build. So, okay, so now if you want to go into poisons, by all means, go into the alchemy. You want to go 5 out of 5 in Alchemist. You want to go 1 into Physician, 1 into Benefactor, and then 1 into Poisoner. So what's nice about the Poisoner, like as I previously mentioned, it's going to help you benefit of that applying more and better poisons on your bow, specifically, since you're going to be going, if you want to go pure archery. Basically, that's basically what I'm saying. So my bad if I messed up just a little bit there, so bleh. So that's basically what you want to do. That's going to be a lot very beneficial for this type of class. Pickpocket, I'm not going to worry about that right now. Lockpicking, I'm not going to worry about that right now. So obviously Sneak is going to be very paramount to this type of build. Especially if you want to go into the Thieves Guild or the Dark Brotherhood. I highly advise go 5 out of 5 in Stealth. Go 1 into Backstab. And then, come on now. And then go into Deadly Aim. This is going to be able to have your sneak attacks with bows now do 3 times the damage, which is going to be absolutely amazing. Excuse me. And then you want to go up to the left-hand side and you want to go into Muffled Movement, which is going to have basically your armor is going to be reduced to 50% of movement. Hence the reason why it's Muffled Movement, obviously. Now, you want to go into Lightfoot, especially if you do not want to trigger pressure plates. Now, if you want, you can go into Silent Roll, if you wish, as you so desired. And if you want to go into Silence, that'll be really cool, too, as well. And then you go up to Shadow Warrior. And what's really nice about this, though, is that you basically will be harder to detect from a target. That's basically what that means. So, what I normally do, though, when I go with the pure stealth build, especially with the Wood Elf, I just basically go all the way up to Deadly Aim on the right-hand side. I do not go into the Assassin's Blade, not unless if I really need to. And then on the left-hand side, I just go to Muffled Movement and to Lightfoot, because so that way I don't have to trigger pressure plates. Okay? Now we are going to go into light armor. So basically, if you want to be able to do... You don't have to wear heavy armor in this game in order to beat it. You don't. You really don't. And that's one thing I can definitely tell you right now. It's a good benefit if you want to be able to have that extra protection, but you do not have to go with heavy armor if you deem so not necessary. That was kind of weird, but bear with me. So if you're going to go into light armor, I do highly advise going to 5 out of 5 in Agile Defender, go into Custom Fit, and then go into Unhindered, which means that your light armor weighs nothing but doesn't slow you down when worn. That's pretty awesome, especially if you're going to go with light armor. With the Windwalker, what's really going to be nice is that your stamina is going to regenerate 50% faster in all light armor, either if it's head, chest, hands, or feet. And then if you're going on the right-hand side, you'll be going to matching set. That's going to give you additional 25% armor bonus of wearing any kind of match set of any kind of type of light armor. And then a deft movement, you had 10% chance of evading all damage from a melee attack while wearing all light armor, head, chest, hands, or feet. So that's basically this is a really good skill tree, especially if you're going to go into light armor. So obviously paramount to this build, you will be doing archery. So I do highly advise going to overdraw 5 out of 5. If you want to go into critical shot, then you can do either 1 or 2 out of 3 in critical shot. And like I think I previously mentioned this, so my bet on the repetition here, just go 1 into Eagle Eye, and then if you really want to, go 1 out of 2 instead of hand. But if you really want to have if you really want to have the 50% of slow time by zooming in with your bow, just go 2 out of 2. So power shot, arrows stagger all enemies, but the largest enemies 50% of the time. I don't go further into the archery tree here, because by all means, it's like I feel like it's not going to be highly necessary, especially for me. So if you want to do that, go right ahead. You can do whatever you want. That's what's nice about Skyrim. It's like you can play anything as you want, as you see fit, and you're not going to be able to have any type of penalty. Now, since we are not going to be doing any one-handed, since we are going just nothing but pure archery with light armor and with some alchemy in the mix, one-handed is not going to be your cup of tea in this type of build. Now, unless if you really want to, if you want to go beyond the above 50, then you can go 3 out of 5 in armsman and then don't do any more. You can if you want to, but that's just me. That's what I'm going with. So basically what you want to do now is, obviously smithing is going to be somewhat paramount as well, especially if you want to be able to craft your own types of armor and or weapons. Now, if you want to be able to go all the way up to either Daedric or Dragon armor, you want to go up to the right-hand side, but necessarily you really don't need to if you don't want to. Like I said, that's what's nice about this game. So, but if you're going to go more on the light armor side, I do highly advise going to Elven Smithing, go into advanced armors, and go into the glass smithing, which is you'll be able to craft your glass weapons, whether it's bows, one-handed, two-handed type of weapons, and or glass armor. So that's awesome. And last but not least, if you want to, obviously, this is another thing that's very paramount, especially if you want to have a really good, amazing build, whether if it's overpowered or not, you want to go into enchanting. So by all means, go 5 out of 5 in enchanter, 1 into insightful enchanter, 1 into corpus enchanter, and then go up to extra effect, which you'll be able to put the same enchantment on the same item. Yes, you can definitely do that, which is going to be really amazing, especially if you want to be very much more efficient with your archery and basically on your gear as well. So basically you can do a lot of things with the extra effect. But alright, so that's pretty much it. So now what I'm going to be doing here, since it's almost the end of the video, I'm going to be discussing what stone you want to go for. Now the best stone for me, specifically since I'm going with the Bosmer, the Wood Elf, I highly advise going with the Lover Stone. Now if you want to go into the Lover Stone, we'll just go right on the map here. And the Lover Stone is basically going to be right up in this area. It's going to be right in this area where Markarth is going to be. So if you end up actually acquiring a little bit more than 50 gold, by all means fast travel to Markarth and just make it towards the Loverstone, and that way you can be able to use the Loverstone to maximize skills that you will be using with your character build, whether if it's the Bosmer, or any other kind of character that you make. But specifically for me though, I always go with the Lover, especially if I'm going with the Wood Elf, because it's going to help my Wood Elf have efficient leveling in a certain way to where it'll help my archery, it'll help my alchemy, it'll help my light armor, and other types of skills that will be pertaining with that type of character build. But anyways, too much further ado, this is Distinguished Fox here on YouTube. I really highly appreciate it. But if you have any comments or questions that you might have, please leave them down below. I'll be happy to reply back as much as I can or when I can. Have a great rest of your weekend and have a good day. Peace.